I believe in a movement practice, not necessarily like exercise or training, just simply moving our bodies. If there's one thing that happened during the pandemic that made me so happy, was after the lockdowns, where my children got sent home from the park by the police. That phase stopped, and then we saw families going out on the bikes together, people in the parks, people out walking, right? All that was just magic to see. Back to our physiology, what happens when we move is we move oxygen into our lungs, you breathe a little bit harder, blood flows through every part of your body, that gets pumped through all of the different tissues, your muscles become activated, they absorb and exchange all sorts of different gases and chemicals and nutrients, they release stem cells, which heals all different parts of your body, and movement sparks the creation of new and stronger mitochondria. We actually build 2 billion new mitochondria every day. So if you don't move, your body dissolves mitochondria because they cost energy to keep. But if you do move, it creates new ones very, very fast. And 98% of the cells in your body are replaced every 6 months. So if you want a new body in 6 months, you literally just be consistent with anything for 6 months, and that will all change your psychology, your physiology, your emotional state. So there's huge hope for me around all of this. And I don't believe we need to do a lot. Research that we've conducted and other people have conducted have shown that as little as 15 minutes of walking a day will lower your risk of 13 different cancers by 24 to 40%. So it cuts your risk of cancer almost in half. Reverses cardiovascular disease. Instantaneously reverses type 2 diabetes. Can be a primary treatment for depression and anxiety. So loads of possibilities here, and it's free. Just need some shoes and go for a walk, or barefoot if you're doing yoga. The other really cool thing that we discovered at Sick Kids is this. So this is some data that was published by Jane Schneiderman on my team, and we did all of these studies at Sick Kids on cancer and leukemia and cystic fibrosis and lupus and a host of other conditions, and showed that if you do strength training, the kids get better. Cardio training, they do better. Stretching training, they do better. Meditation, they do better. The problem is, after you do all of those exercise intervention studies, the kids stop exercising. You're like, well, that's not helpful because they don't keep with it. So Jane went back through all of the data and found that the kids who are the most generally, habitually, physically active, in general, the number of steps they take, those kids had the slowest rate of decline in almost every single condition. So it doesn't look like much over a year, but over a longer period of time, the differences begin to emerge. It's critical in something like cystic fibrosis because you're on a trajectory towards at some point requiring a lung transplant. The longer you can stretch that out, the better. So every single disease, the more steps you take, the better that you do. We went back and checked. It's across every age range as well. So I used to coach Olympic athletes. I was like, you need to be in a specific heart rate zone for this many minutes at this lactate level. Now I'm like, we just need to, as a society, we just need to move. I don't care what we do. Don't care what type of exercise it is. I don't care how long it is. Research at McMaster University shows that 60 seconds of exercise improves your health and well-being. Like, anything works. Walk up a flight of stairs, you win. Like, it's so straightforward and basic, which is super frustrating because we spent the last 5 years building what I think is the best human performance app in the world, and you can track your physical activity, and if you do that, you get complex data analysis. Because I'm a physiologist, I like to see my heart rate and my running dynamics and all that sort of stuff, and unfortunately now I realize that the only thing that matters is the number of steps that I take every day, and I could have punted all of that other stuff and been done in 6 months instead of 5 years. But the message for all of us coming out of this, who want to be healthy, who want to be higher performing, who want to have more energy, is very simply that I'd love for you to sprinkle physical activity throughout the course of your day. And I don't care what it is.